What's up, everybody? All right. When we left off last time, we were looking for this hidden door, and I found it here. I got the code after I killed the Chaos Marine, I believe, or maybe it was the other boss, the Slaver boss. I don't remember which one it was. But anyway, I got the key code, got to the door, but that's where I left off last night because we were already a couple hours in. So we're about to head on inside. Let me double check one thing before we start. Make sure we're ready to go. I've been streaming about 5 o'clock the past few days over the holidays, but I'm streaming early today because Chris and I want to watch some TV tonight. So I was like, you know what? I'll just do it early, and we will go watch TV. So we're going to watch, we got to catch up with the last couple of episodes of Reacher, episodes 4 and 5, and we're going to try out the new Percy Jackson show on Disney+. First 3 episodes have aired. It's been getting rave reviews. Mostly because it is extremely faithful to the source material because the creator is actually involved with this adaptation as an executive producer and co-writer. So he's being able to hands-on oversee the adaptation, something that didn't happen when they did the films, like 10 years ago when the films were. Yeah, Reacher has been fantastic. Alright, I'm getting comfy. I'm turning the controller on. I'm going to sit down and play today. I've been doing lots of other stuff on my feet today, so I'm gonna relax in my chair.
Let us not dawdle.
Now I think this is the last of Heinrich's objectives on this planet. But I think there are other things to do on Kiavagama beyond the Manufactorum. I'll have to check the journal later. Alright. What is in those cages? That looks
Is there
nasty.
money to be made?
The screen of the cogitator shows a scrolling line of repeating Technolingua. Are these abominations? Oh. Numerous wires and pipes run to the filthy cages, which are filled with what looks like a conglomeration of human bodies. Oh, wow. You cannot make who is in the cage, but bright blue sparks flash intermittently in the darkness with a mass of flesh twitches and shudders. That's nasty. So they're balls of human beings, like... Heinrichs cast a scrutinizing eye over one of the cages before withdrawing his weapon and approaching to examine what lies inside. Careful, Heinrichs. Look at it. He gestured towards the cage closest to you. Through the metal bars, you see it truly is a pile of human bodies, or something that used to be. The monstrously deformed bodies have fused together in places, while others were severed using saws and knives, leaving wounds seeping pus and slime. Wounds that are agglutinating and sprouting tendons. Rods connected to wires that run to a nearby cogitator bristle across the flesh. One of the humans' heads turns to you. Mercy! Even attempting to speak causes the mutant pain, but he bears the agony and forces out the words. Mercy! Make it stop. Alright, let's do a medica test. You examine the pulsating mass of flesh. The creature in the cage seems to be composed of several bodies joined together. You see no sutures or any other means by which the separate parts could have been connected. Among the layers of meat, you can discern large knots of muscle, various limbs, exposed bones, parts of faces, and entire heads. Only warp sorcery is capable of creating such an abomination while preserving its ability to live on. I'm shooting it in the head. The flesh explodes in a mountain of lumps, stinking spray, and bone shards. The gaping wound closes in an instant, and a different face emerges from the fleshy depths in place of the lost head. Oh wow, that's not good. The mutant's body is pulsing faster, harder, as though the abomination's heart rate is spiked with fear. A many-voiced moan rises up from all the other cages at once. The pain was felt by all who share the mutant's horrific fate. That also is not... That's not good, man. Alright, what is this? Heinrich takes in his surroundings and once again fixes his attention to the contents in the nearest cage. I'm beginning to have some idea. The Lex mechanic mentioned the inhabitants of the lower levels who had been imprisoned in their homes. He said some of them were brought here. The cultists did something to these poor people in their own home, and now they are studying the results. Ugh. Yeah, so the Lex mechanic also mentioned some kind of slag waste disposal and chaos symbols on machines. What are the arch enemy's minions doing to the people of the lower levels? To know the meanings of the works of dark sorcery means allowing corruption into oneself, Heinrich scowls. These are warp mutations, no doubt. Perhaps there was some side effect, and that's why they were brought here, but to be connected to senses and cogitators. Even fallen tech priests who have rejected the Omnissiah are driven by a perverted hunger for knowledge. Why are they hooked up to cogitators? Lingua technis, corrupted by the scrap code, I'm sure. It's unlikely we will ever be able to extract anything of value from their data crypts. Thinking, Heinrich clenches his fist and bites down on a knuckle, then recoils when the mutant from the nearest cage reaches a hand at him through the bars. Blood. Food. You. A human female face watches you from the gleam of the cage. Even though half of her head has been turned into a mess of bone and lumpen growths, her single eye looks at you with a surprising amount of intelligence. You promised! You promised us! Her words are echoed by other voices in the depths of the cages. Heinrich leans towards the cage, but at a sufficient distance to ensure the mutant cannot reach him. Who are you talking to? What did they promise you? Who are they? You took us from the inferno. You promised us a reward. You did. Her face contorts in a grimace, and the creature's lips stick together like melted wax. I'll be damned, they can still speak. They remember the people who did this to them. Heinrich balls his fist in powerless rage, then frowns in thought. Perhaps biomancy will allow us to draw the fragments of knowledge out of them. Well, it could also trigger further changes. Idira curses furiously. A little biomancy? This is a tangle of flesh and bone. Come on, Iceman, let them die in peace already. Heinrich turns to Idira. You don't see his face, but you do see her suddenly shrink and cast her eyes down. Abelard says, not missing Pascal's sober interest in the proceedings. Welcome to YouTube, Ronald Korn. Don't forget, everybody, that we're also multi-streaming on Twitch, so you can check us out over there. So Abelard notices Pascal's sober interest. Esteemed Magos, those are your comrades. If I may ask, do you feel any compassion for them, or regret? Regret for the losses that these people represent to the Adeptus Mechanicus? Negative. What I'm currently observing is not my tech comrades, but merely their biological functioning remains fashioned into a specimen of an unnatural perversion of technology. I am under no directives to feel any affinity for such specimens. Alright, Heinrichs, let this go. You're only prolonging their suffering. I am inclined to relieve their suffering. Every moment of existence in such a state is pure torture for the people locked in these sheaths. Alright, let's do it. Heinrichs wavers for one more moment, then leans over the cogitators. Each mutant has cables attached. I may not know the nature of these machines, but it isn't too difficult to increase the voltage. This switch here. Is this going to create like a super mutant that we have to fight? You hear the crackle of electricity. The wires glow with blue sparks, and the creatures locked in the cages drop lifelessly to the floor. The sharp tang of burned meat hangs in the air. That's that then. But you know what bothers me, Rogue Trader? The number of people here. There are too few. The lower levels of similar manufacturers are inhabited by millions. What happened to the rest of them? I know I won't like that answer. Let's go. We still haven't done what we came here to do.
I always keep my options open.
None of that is good. We should quick save.
Keep your wits about you.
Alright, here's the data vault.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
This massive cogitator grows out of metal bulkheads into like a grotesque tumor. A hollow roar sounds from deep within the metal housing. Whatever spurred the computer into action, it has enough power to supply a small command center. And as soon as your eyes fall upon it, you feel a tingling in your temples. Every nook, every component of the machine radiates a sense of wrongness, one that is difficult to explain but no less palpable for it. It's as though the construct itself defies the laws of physics and perspective. Heinrichs makes a warning gesture. Stop, Renfail. This is the creation of the archenemy. Don't go near it. Don't go near it. You've done enough for me in my mission. Don't put yourself at risk now. As soon as Heinrich takes another step towards the cogitator, it emits a deafening shriek like hundreds of metal needles driving into toughened glass, as though sensing the stranger. Wincing, Heinrich approaches the control panel and bends down across the screens. Despite the heat clogging the room, you feel an ice-cold breeze, as Heinrich is clearly using his psycho abilities to try to fend off the pernicious effects of the Chaos artifact. Pascal says the Omnissiah's grace has not touched this object. This mechanism was not desecrated, but born flawed and unnatural. Iron, most profane. Initiating observation log. Let us not fear stand in the path of knowledge. You just said this thing is an abomination, yet you people are going to immerse yourself in it to study it. Doesn't the thought repel you? Alright, squeamishness is not relevant. Alright, let's approach it. Heinrichs is too engrossed to stop me. Alright, do I have logic? Success. The cogitator displays a wall of text on its screens. The string of symbols is a senseless mixture of numbers, formulas, and unfamiliar characters. There seems to be no logic to it, and yet there is no doubt that the cogitator is computing calculations on a prodigious scale. Let's examine the wiring. Oh no, it's writing. Lord Captain, no, says Adira. Just don't look. The whispers say nothing good will come of it. You really should step away. Alright, look at the cables. Clearly added after the machine came off the production line. They disappear inside a maintenance hatch that leads somewhere down below. So let's take a step back. Take a step backwards and suddenly one of the cogitator screens changes colors to a bright yellow and your eyes are helplessly drawn to the bilious hue. Ooh, I succeeded a willpower test. You turn sharply away from the screen. You can almost feel invisible shackles falling away. You realize a moment later that you were not fighting against your own will, but against someone's malevolent... Oh, you were not fighting against your own curiosity, but someone's malevolent will, which has now lost its hold on you. Alright, keep my distance. Wait. Alright. Heinrichs is doing his thing. Something about sacrifices. Hectocomb determinants. The womb of this cursed machine is down in the lower levels. This cogitator is fueled by the energy harnessed from thousands of people who are flowing beneath our feet as slag waste as we speak. That's not good. I cannot, however, imagine the reason for sacrificing all these people. It's inconceivable. But now we know why the fabricator sensor prized this monster so highly. Cursed Tech Priest and his associates created something that went beyond the limits of the Omnissiah's power. This machine is designed to process possibilities with warp sorcery. It's almost finished its task. It predicts the future. Are you alright? I'll be fine. Alright, how is that even possible? Alright, he's not going to give me an answer. Idura opens her mouth to speak, but then drops her gaze awkwardly. Okay, yeah, we need to stop it for the sake of the people down below. Oh, he almost got suckered in by keeping it going for the information. All right. His movements now are exact and purposeful, unlike his earlier operation. One after another, the cogitator's screens begin to fade to black, and a roar coming from inside the machine quietens to a barely imperceptible howl, in which you imagine you hear notes of dejection. Heinrich spins over the keys and then flinches, as if from an electric shock. The cogitator lets out a roar that grows louder by the second. Oh no! That
heresy ends here.
All right, we're gonna get a big bad boss fight. The Screamer of Cinch. Well, I gotta timestamp this. 21 minutes in. Screamer of Cinch. All right, cool. Well, let's see how this boss fight goes. I have no idea what to expect here. I'm gonna leave Heinrichs where he is. Get Abelard over here. Get Adira over here. Get Pascal over here. Get Jay down. Here we go. Oh, of course it summons lots of ads. Haha. All right. Smart thing to do is just
They who discern the future on the battlefield. But of course,
something stole my momentum, so
stop mocking me. On it. Will do. My prescience has failed me.
it's always interesting to see how that works. All right. Okay, let's see here, buddy. If I had to guess, we probably need to get the Herald down pretty quick.
I'll see to it personally.
I don't have line of sight, or what? Pink horror. Well, I do have line of sight to this, so let's just...
It's as good as done. The best defense is a good offense. Who, if not me? I'll make it happen.
Alright, yeah, the Herald is bad news. Well, that's not cool, man.
Focus.
Alright, Abelard. Honestly,
A tactically sound approach.
Indeed.
It's not really what I wanted to do, but it's gonna be good. I can go defensive stance. Let's go ahead and trigger this, because at least I'll get one attack off on it. Okay. Alright, this is where things get kind of funky. We kind of need to take care of... Let's buff our peeps first. Let's do... Yeah, let's heal. Let's do the AoE heal, Light of the Emperor. There we go.
Stay with us.
Alright, my dear. Let's give it to
Don't get too
Abelard.
cocky. You've got a problem, I've got a prize.
Alright, Abelard.
Victory is the target well struck. At your beck and call.
Can I give this to Pascal? Yeah.
They'll write legends about me.
Alright, Heinrichs is down, so whatever she did to Heinrichs sucks, but...
My vow is terminated.
It spawned something else, or what did that do? It spawned a blue horror now. Oh my.
Right to post-mortem servitorization denied.
I'm not close enough to get it with my attack, am I? No, because it needs to be one more. It sucks. Alright.
Don't get too cocky. Tell me, and it is done.
Can we get this one down?
Farewell.
Nice. Yeah, it's some creepy beast is what it is. That's what it is. I have no idea. It's called the Screamer of Cinch, I think is what it was called. Alright, I really need to get over here and take care of this dude, so... Because the Herald only does bad things.
The Omnissiah knows all. The Omnissiah condemns you. Request approved.
God, Pascal has turned into a beast with how many attacks he can do. Alright.
I'll see to it personally. Consider this a
61. I think
Come.
that's my best hit yet. It
On
was a
it.
61 points of damage. That's pretty good, man.
Who if not me? You never stood a chance.
66. I did even more that time. My. How far out can I? Do I have line of sight on these two D-bags? Surely I do. Let's mark these two dudes.
I'll make it happen.
I'm only gonna get one of them.
Here's my perfect moment.
Surely I can shoot these two dudes.
He's
Get
as
that
good
one.
as done. Your end was
72. Holy crap, man.
on it. Another enemy down.
As the tactical imperative dictates. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Vital functions successfully terminated.
Alright, we still have these other ones over here. I think this is his AoE. Yeah, here it is.
Quest approved.
Ha ha ha! Pascal is a beast. Alright, Heinrichs is up. Heinrich stares at the smoldering ashes of the demon and then of the destroyed cogitator. The furrow in his brow slowly smooths out and his face looks almost contented. Creation of chaos is no more. I hope the fabricator sensor did not have time to pass on the secret of this creature to his associates, and I hope the survivors down at the lower levels can hold on until we liberate Kiavagama. Yeah, I saw something happen to you, Heinrichs. What happened when you touched the machine? He jerks his head and waves away the question, his movements sharp and unnatural. Talk about it later, but right now, I must thank you. Without your help and cooperation, I doubt I would have reached the depths of Kiabagama and learned the truth behind my agents' dispatches and reports. I would never have ended up here, and I would never have succeeded in hampering the cult's activities. Dare I hope, esteemed interrogator, that your keen interest in this Von Valancius world has been satisfied? Heinrich replies, oh? Apart from the fact that the world is still seized by the arch-enemy's corruption, its populace infected with heresy, and the once sacred machines of its manufacture have been turned into weapons against humanity, we're quite satisfied, yes. My business here is concluded. It's time to return to the mission that brought you here to this industrial world first. The only thing I'll ask of you is an audience when we return to the ship. Alright, so we've officially helped him with the completion of that big bad boss fight. We've helped Heinrichs complete his quest here on the planet. Where are we at time-wise? 33 point. Another episode in the big bad boss fight journals.
Always keep your eye on the
Is there
prize.
loot? There is not any loot. What is there? Any way to anything else to explore in here? It doesn't look like it.
Come here.
Do you require? I know how to take risks. I always have a backup plan.
Well, I would like to go back to the void ship so I can ditch Heinrichs and grab somebody else.
I always keep my options open.
I'm not a Heinrichs. I like him as a class, but I don't like him as a individual. He's way too... I'm Mr. Imperial. Smeagol. What's up, buddy? I think whenever we get into the new office, I want to get a cat stand so that you guys can see him, because he sleeps in here with me every day. I mean, I show him off occasionally by putting the camera down there, but Lucas was my big baby for the first year until he started chewing everything up, and then Lucas has not been allowed to stay in the office since then. They have to come in the office when the hot weather gets here because we have the only air conditioner in the house.
Keep your wits about you.
So at some point, Lucas will be back in here, but Lucas is just, you gotta keep your eye on him because he will eat. I mean, he's destroyed, it's probably $600 now. 2 headsets, 2 charging cables. What was he chewing up the other day? Chris found him chewing up something else. Oh, he destroyed some of her hair ties.
Is there money to be made?
She just found hair ties in pieces. Oh, and then like a week ago, she pulled out her she had her what's about to happen here? That's Heinrichs. What's he doing? Sharp pain pierces your head and the light dims in your eyes. You smell smoke and burning. You feel a wave of nausea. Your legs buckle and your knees hit the metal floor. In the same moment, the manufactorum surrounding you disappears in a whirlwind of mist, ash, and gray shadows. Anyway, Lucas, Christina pulled one of her jackets out, one of our old travel windbreakers that she got in Ireland, and left it hanging on the front of her bicycle to dry out because she went out one day and got a little bit wet. And it has on the bottom where it goes around your waist, it has string draw ties. And Lucas got the draw ties and chewed one of them off, swallowed a piece of it. Chris is like, Tim, Lucas just vomited something on the floor. I come running in the office and there's like a 2-inch piece of this cable, this pull tie that he had pulled off her jacket and swallowed. And it's filled with like tiny little nylon strands to make it flexible and extendable. And it's like, that's the kind of stuff that if an animal eats it and it gets trapped in there, it causes it. It's like, dude, you have got to stop chewing on shit. That was last week. So Lucas we just have to, you can't leave him alone because once he gets bored, he just chews stuff up. Smeagol doesn't do anything though. Smeagol just sleeps all day.